Hey there, friend. If your voice is feeling locked up inside of you, like you can't quite access it, there could be a number of things getting in the way of freeing your voice. Sometimes it's a matter of learning about how the voice works and understanding how to use it properly. And other times, there's something deeper going on. So in today's episode, I'll go over 7 keys to unlock your singing voice from the inside out. This is going to help you identify where you might be getting stuck and what you can do to open it up. And hint, it may not be what you expect. Welcome to Reawaken Your Voice. I'm Lainey Prendeville Crawford, holistic voice coach, singer, song weaver. I believe the song in your heart holds medicine for yourself and for the world. And yet too often, something happens along the way. We shut down our voice and our song goes unsung. Whether you stopped singing years ago or have always harbored an unrealized dream to start, if you're ready to finally give voice to those unsung songs in your heart, then take my hand as I guide you to free yourself from the inner critic, reignite your creativity, find your courage, sing with confidence, and reawaken those dormant parts of yourself aching for a revival. So dust off your songbooks, tune up your guitar, bust out your singing bowls, your shakers, your drum. Actually, all you really need is your voice, your breath, open ears, and an open heart. Let's play. Singing is so much more than proper vocal technique. Yes, that is a big piece of it. Healthy singing produces a beautiful sound when all of these physical elements line up. But there are also these energetic and emotional pieces that are often overlooked. And these are really the keys to not only creating and sustaining a beautiful tone quality, but also singing with feeling and expressing what is within the heart. Singing from a place of authenticity and truth. Each of these 7 keys I'll be outlining for you today corresponds with both a physical element of strong vocal technique and an energetic or emotional component that goes into creating a beautiful, expressive sound that people can really connect with. So it's like a recipe for delicious singing. So here's my breathe formula, which is actually a great reminder in and of itself, because we always need to remember the most important thing when singing. To breathe. It's what we always begin with and come back to again and again. You know, it seems so simple, so basic, but you'd be surprised how easy it is to forget in the moment to breathe. So it's no surprise then that the first letter of the acronym B stands for breath. The breath. R stands for resonance. E, embodiment. A, alignment. T, tone or timbre. H, heart. and E, energy. This is the B.R.E.A.T.H.E formula to unlock your singing voice from the inside out. Now, a little backstory for those of you who may not know. I am classically trained as an opera singer. And so I've spent a great deal of my life studying, practicing, developing, and teaching strong vocal technique. Understanding the physical instrument of the voice and how it works and how to access it, how to open it up and get the most out of it, and really uncover the full potential of this beautiful human instrument. So as I went along that path, eventually I got to the point where I was so focused on technique that it was like I was picking my voice apart so much, I didn't know how to put it back together again. Perfectionism was eating away at me, and I was constantly worried about getting it right. And so it was through this process of kind of losing myself in the technique that I kind of tore everything down and started over with a more holistic approach, learning to quiet the noise of the mind and all the internal criticism and the mind chatter that was getting in the way of my sound. And also learning to open my heart again, open up the heart to access the emotions I had been suppressing, all this stuff that I had just been holding in. These were the things that were energetically locking up my voice and affecting my physical technique and affecting my overall sound. It was the emotional stuff. I knew physically what to do. Like, yes, there's always more to learn, and it's a lifelong journey. But for the most part, I understood physically what to do. But my voice was still all locked up in there. So I knew there was something deeper that I was missing. And this is how I began to develop a more loving and human and holistic approach to singing. If you think about it, the human instrument is played, so to speak, by a human being. So you've got this human instrument physically. It's part of your physical human body. And then, there's the human being behind that physical instrument that is breathing life into it. So your humanness, your humanity, it's all tied up in the physical instrument itself. Does that make sense? So, the B.R.E.A.T.H.E formula. Let's start with B, breath. The breath is the fuel to the voice. The breath is life itself. So we want to breathe life into the voice. The physical piece of this, of course, when we're singing, is breath management. Learning to balance the inhale and the exhale and that gentle pause at the top and the bottom of each of those. It has to do with phrasing, learning to ride this steady stream of air along with the melody, the melodic line in the music. And a big part of this is also just understanding diaphragmatic breathing. So it is a balance, it's a dance, it is an art form, and this can be learned. Now, the more emotional piece of this is spaciousness. If you think about breathing, you think about allowing yourself the time to fill up with air and release it. When I was allowing this kind of imprisonment of my voice, like it felt all locked up in there, and I was allowing the mind chatter to take over, I was always in a rush to get to the good sound. So when I went to practice, I was kind of pushing it there and forcing it there, and like I wanted it to happen now. And I wasn't allowing for that spaciousness, like easing my way into it gently with these, starting with gentle warm-ups and gradually touching on the extremes of my voice. So starting in a comfortable place and then, gradually stretching. Ease your way in. Give yourself the space and the time to create. The space and the time to, romance your instrument, to gently ease your way into the voice and opening it up. Time and space for your creative flow to show up. So rather than pushing it to happen, allowing yourself to breathe. R, resonance. In terms of physical resonance, your physical singing voice, there are resonance chambers in your body, places where the sound moves and vibrates and is sent forth out into the room, out into the space. So we have resonance chambers in our mask or our face, like the sinus cavities, and resonance through the top of the head, like through the skull, resonance in the chest. That chest resonance is felt in the deeper register of the voice. And then, of course, there's a way to blend and mix these resonance chambers and kind of tap into each of them as you're producing the sound. If, a good visual example of resonance chambers is the body of an acoustic guitar. So there's the physical body, and as you pluck the string, the sound vibrates within that space. And there's the sound hole, that it kind of releases through there, but releases through the wooden body itself too. So learning how to send the sound where you want it to go and where you feel it in your body, there's an art to this, finding resonance in your voice, that place where it starts ringing and vibrating, and it creates this almost natural amplification of the sound. So on the other side of this, the emotional resonance. Think about heart resonance, or if someone says, yeah, that really resonates with me. That means there's this connection to what you're saying. If something speaks to me or it strikes a chord, it pulls at my heartstrings, it comes back to connection, like something vibrating within me connects with that same vibration within you, and we can almost feel each other. So that's the heart connection that we want to make with our audience. And in order to get to that point, we have to connect with something real and something true within us. It's your message. What are you evoking? Like what emotion are you trying to convey? Because whatever that is, that's what you need to tap into within yourself. That place of truth can only be felt by others if you are feeling it within yourself. And so as you sing, that resonance is carried out into the space and into the heart of your listener. That brings us to E, embodiment. As a vocalist, your body is your instrument. We are not singing from the neck up. Although your voice box is, yes, located within your neck area, there's a full body that needs to be activated, that needs to be brought into this experience. This is a full-bodied experience. When we are singing, we are becoming the living, breathing song. So we're getting it into our body. We are embodying the music, the message, becoming the expression of the words, the story, the emotions that you are conveying. But when it comes to the emotional piece of this, you're embodying the artist within. You're stepping into the identity of singer, vocalist, musician, creative. You're allowing yourself to acknowledge that part of you that is longing to emerge and come through your singing voice. Embodying your sound also means embodying the part of you that may have been hidden for a long time and allowing it to physically show up in your life. So what does that look like for you? Does that look like setting aside some time to actually sing and practice and taking yourself seriously? Not too seriously, we want to be lighthearted, of course, but, taking yourself seriously as a singer and allowing yourself to call yourself a singer. So think about that. Think about what that would look like to embody the singer inside of you. A, alignment. We need to sing from a strong foundation physically. So that means if we build it from the ground up, your feet are hip width apart. You're kind of finding that center. Imagine like a golden thread from the root through your spine, through the top of your head. And you're kind of like floating in that center channel. So we're grounded, we're rooted, but also there's this lift. If you're pulling that golden thread up through your center, opening up through the heart space, opening up the shoulders, but not too tight, not so rigid. It's not a rigid stance. It's a gentle opening. Regal, that word is coming to my mind. Your sternum is lifted. Shoulders are back, but not in a rigid way, just a relaxed way. The chin is level to the ground. It's kind of in a neutral place. And yeah, you've got the jaw relaxed, and there's a slight lift internally. So we need that proper posture, because your body is your instrument. So there's a way to carry it that allows for the best production of sound, I guess I'll say it that way. So alignment, yes, there is a physical alignment through the body. But then there's also this emotional piece of aligning with truth, aligning with what is true. So this is letting go of the lies you're telling yourself and the limiting beliefs of the mind, the lies of the inner critic, and coming in tune with the home note. So I guess in some ways this alignment is also like you're aligning with the key, you're aligning with the pitch of the music itself. But here you're aligning and tuning into your home note, your values, your beliefs, what you take a stand for. A simple question to ask yourself is, am I in alignment with what I'm singing about? And this requires a certain level of knowing yourself, like really knowing yourself, knowing who you are. And of course, this is a lifelong journey for all of us, isn't it? But getting to a place where you can stand strong in that alignment. You can stay grounded in it as you're singing and expressing that truth that you stand for. T, tone, and I also say timbre. That's a musical term for just like the color of the sound, or like the texture. It's like a descriptive, like a shade of sound. So different instruments have different timbres. Like a brass instrument is different than a woodwind. So when it comes to the voice, this tone, it's refined with practice. And it really takes exploration to find your tone, to find your unique timbre. But you can do this through vocal toning, singing on the vowels and learning what vowel shape works for your voice within a certain range. So A, E, A, O, U, playing with even little vowels in between all those and different sounds to find where the tone resonates and where you can place that in your body to find the tone that is yours and open it up. There can be, a clarity of tone, a clear tone, or a breathiness, allowing more breath to come through. And, you can play with this for different, when you're making different artistic choices to find your unique tone quality. And when I say quality, I'm not referring to a good or bad sound, not that kind of quality. This kind of tone quality is like a descriptive of the color or the shade or the texture of the sound. So think about that phrase, it's not what you say, but how you say it. So this helps us understand tone in more of the emotional, energetic way? Are you singing it with a certain emotion behind it? Well, that's going to inform the choice of how you want to produce that tone. So it comes down to artistic choices to match the emotion or the part of the story that you're conveying as you sing through it. And like I said, this takes practice and exploration. So allow yourself to play with different colors and textures in your voice, and even in different parts of your range. Play with those vowel shapes and see what you discover. H, heart. Heart. This is trusting that the technique will be there to the point where you can drop out of the head space and into the heart space, and singing from the heart. So, are you in your head about technique? Is there all this self-doubt and judgment creating dissonance or noise in your mind? Because if you're singing from that space, of course it's going to feel locked up. You're all in your head. We need to drop back down to the heart and sing from that place. This also has to do with the state of your heart. How's your heart? Is your heart in need of some healing? Does it feel closed off, like there's just this brick wall that you've built around it? And is there stuff in there that's just been buried? Because that suppression comes through in the voice. If we are not allowing ourselves to express what is true and be real and be honest about the feelings that are within our hearts, stuff we're going through in our lives, if we're shoving it all down, it cannot come through our voice. It's like we're holding it all in. So there needs to be a process of opening the heart as we are opening the voice. The two go hand in hand, the voice and the heart, because as you sing, you're sharing what's in your heart. And if you're shoving that down and blocking it out, there will be a barrier, like you're going to come up against that wall as you try to sing. So whatever you're singing about, you're putting yourself in that place and allowing yourself to really go there in the moment, to go into that feeling and sing from that place. E, energy. This is, your health and your wellness, your energy. We need energy to sing. It takes a lot of energy. So this ties into other parts of your life. Like, are you getting enough rest and drinking enough water? These basic things, but as your body is your instrument, taking good care of yourself is what's going to help you have that energy to sing. So when we sing, we want to sing with an energized tone rather than it lying flat or stagnant, in like a stuck place. We want it to move us forward. We want there to be some momentum and energy in the tone, a spinning, a ringing, a lift to it that carries us forward through the phrase. So this brings us back to the breath. See, here we are again. Back to the breath. We're always coming back to the breath. There's also emotional piece to this, or energetic part of the energy. I don't know. Presence. So when we talk about energy, yes, there's the physical, like, do I have the energy to do this right now, or am I too drained? And then there's also this energetic presence that we turn on within us. It's this inner light illuminated. There's this moment of opening up through the eyes, and there's something behind them. There's this twinkle in the eyes that we turn on, and we are here now in the moment. We need that presence to fully connect and open the voice so that others can feel that presence. Now that brings me to this bonus concept that I want to add in, this thing that ties all of these elements together. It ties together the breath, the resonance, the embodiment, the alignment, the tone, the heart, and the energy. This is your artistry. Your artistry ties all of these things together. So this is the unique way that you weave these things together and season them with your raw humanness, your authentic voice, your creativity, your expression. So yes, this is the phrasing, the dynamics, how loud or soft, and the tone color that you're bringing in, the creative expression, how you're telling the story, how you're emoting. And this way that you tie all of these things together, this is really where you discover your unique sound. So as you can see, it's a journey of playing with these concepts and weaving them together in different ways, and finding a way that feels true and natural to you. So which of these keys needs a little more love? Choose one and devote like a mini practice session to it, and allow your intuition to guide you to open it up, both in your body and in your spirit, your emotional body, if you will. Singing into it and through it. If you feel stuck, try this. Try drawing what it feels like. Try drawing what it feels like in that stuck place, and then try drawing what you want it to feel like, and then sing with that image in mind. Like I said, singing is so much more than just physical technique. We can tap into our creativity to unlock these things within us. And it's also about visualizing what's going on in there. Since we can't see it, we can feel it. So get into the feeling of it and, create a visual for yourself to explore. And if you'd like guidance to unlock any of these pieces we've talked about within your voice and through your voice, grab a session with me. We can go deeper into any of these concepts, whether it be the physical or the energetic component, or like a blend of the two. If you have questions around them, or you want to know how it applies specifically to your voice, that's what I'm here for. Go to reawakenyourvoice.com/coaching to book your session, and we will unlock your singing voice from the inside out together. Hey friend, thank you so much for listening. If this episode unlocked something in you or moved you in some way, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're streaming this, and share this episode with a friend who's been praying for a vocal breakthrough. Until we meet again, keep nurturing that song in your heart. Lots of love.